All right, cue the hunter. Tell us a story. What happened?
Not much until the end.
You still got all your arrows.
You know how I was wanting to get out early this morning?
Yeah.
Oh,
I've been
screw
there-
you, it's my
and
fault.
If I'd have been there
Had
15
them
minutes
for
earlier,
photo.
oh my goodness. Oh well.
Hey, but I got a killer photo. You look as goofy as hell.
You what?
I got a killer photo. You look as goofy as hell in it.
Oh, hey. I got a dirty arrow though, so I do have a
Sweet.
story. I sat there all day long, and nothing came through all day. Like that group of does went through right before I got there. I saw them up there, and they were headed right for my tree that I was gonna sit in. And then as I was setting up my tree stand, two more. I was almost done, but it was a little too late. Two more came in, were headed right for me, but they saw me and went up the hill. And so I sat there all day long, did not see a thing. And till about an hour before dark, there was, I heard a commotion on the next ridge.
That was me.
And, is that you?
Where were you at?
hunting over?
Were you right up straight here?
Same place I've been hunting.
So just, what would that be, the west side of this little drainage right after camp?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah,
So
about an hour before dark.
yeah, three does and a buck.
Yeah.
Those 3 does go flying through further up the draw there, and then this little buck, he was his little 4-point. He had the one side fell off, so he just had
Really?
one side left. Did he have both sides when you saw him?
There's 4 bucks I saw today, and they were sometimes I saw 4 together, and then sometimes it was just 2 of them. But
Okay.
they all had both sides that I saw.
Okay, yeah, this just had one side, and he came in, comes right up from my tree, and he comes to a split in the trail. If he'd have taken, and he was going to take the left trail, I'd have had like a quartering away 10-yard shot. It would just been perfect. But he, earlier in the day, one of my arrows fell off the rest and fell down.
That's your dirty arrow story?
No.
I was gonna say, really?
Yeah.
And then I happened to drop a piece of trash too. I had these fruit leathers and one of the piece of plastic I wrapped it in, that fell down. And he comes up, and I think he smelled the plastic. He was like stretching his nose. He's like this far from the base of the tree, just like. And it was the wrong. It was the wrong way for me to get to. And another mistake I made. I picked a tree that was too big. I had 2 trees I wanted to sit in, and my number 1 pick, they were like 5 yards apart, and my number 1 pick was just almost too big. Like I could just so reach like my fingers if I reached around it, and that's like the max for my little swing tree stand. But so I went up there, and the problem is you can't, with that thing you can shoot like all the way around the tree, but because it's such a big tree, I had to bring my straps down lower, and I couldn't swing around the tree, so I was limited to like what's right there, you know. And so he smelled the arrow, got a little nervous, and started going up the hill the other way, which would have been fine if I'd have had my tree stand set up like I normally do. But yeah, thing goes up, and it was well, I stepped it off, and it was 25. I thought it was probably about 20 or so, but it ended up being 25. He was moving. He's almost getting ready to go behind a tree there, and I came back. I was like, I had to shoot like facing him. I had to shoot like this, and so I was like, come back and like follow him, shot, and my arrow just kissed his brisket, you know, just missed him.
Dang,
So
that's awesome.
And that was the one-sided guy?
that was the one-sided guy. Yep.
Man, way to stick it out all day. Jeez, what a
Yeah.
stud.
That's
I thought it was going to happen there, but it didn't. So.
close.
Did you get anything? Nothing?
I haven't even taken a shot this trip. I'm
Wow.
He's
slacking,
slacking.
man.
He's
I
due.
cannot-
He's due.
I cannot catch a break. I
Wow.
saw these guys. I went and it froze. It was 8 degrees when I got out of the truck, and I set my tree seat up, and I sat there for about an hour, and I got so cold I wanted to reposition, so I took it down and I went up the hill about 100 yards maybe and sat back up.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there. About 20 minutes later, I hear some noise, and 2 does walked right past where I was at,
Oh.
and they actually like walked in my tracks, just kept on walking. I was like, oh, God, this just pathetic, you know. So I sat there about an hour and got frozen again, and I went down and moved again to another spot, and that was it. And I couldn't handle it anymore. I had to get out. I made it till noon, but God, it was cold.
Yeah.
Did you see the big doe hanging on the meat pole?
No. Ah.
We've been in camp since 11.
Really?
Hanging out. Yeah. Killer here. Just got her done.
Did you video?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I think it'll turn out good. I wasn't able to get the arrow impact on the video.
Okay.
It's so damn steep, you know. And it seems like every time there's always one of those old skidder roads, and they give you a little lip, and they're always right on the other side of the lip. That big buck that came by the other day, he's like, "You see it? Get it on video." And I'm like, "I don't see it." And then I just see the top of its back, and so I turn it on, I zoom in, and you just see like his little rat go by. I'm like, and if I stand up, then I'm screwing everything up, you know. So, but I had it on the tripod. I think it'll turn out good. I had him shoot. He hit some brush that he didn't see, and he hit it far back, and he's like, "God damn it!" And he shoots again, and then it just piled up. He hit that artery, and I'm like, he's like, "I don't know what happened." I'm like, "You hit that bush right there."
I didn't even see that bush. I was so keyed in on that deer, and my arrow flew off, jacked up. And I was like, "What the freaking hell happened?"
Well, you saw it all through the camera.
Well, I didn't. So I got set up behind him, and I got the tripod and everything set up because he did you see a deer down there?
Yeah.
He saw a deer like right here, and there's kind of the old skidder went to the saddle, but there was a little opening down through there, and so I had it all set up there, and then we stood there forever. I was freezing my boat off, and he was just easing along, had an arrow knocked and everything, and then all of a sudden I see him just get ready, and I'm like, oh, perfect, and then he just kind of turns back this way and draws back, you know, and so I zoom out, but like I said, from that little opening there, it ended up being just the ledge. We drug it right down through there.
Yeah,
And
I
some,
thought I
height
heard
to
someone
those times.
dragging and talking and
Nice.
stuff.
That's cool.
Well, you
Oh,
probably-
maybe Carson shot something and is dragging it down.
You
the
probably
hill.
heard my pack rolling
Oh
down
yeah.
the hill.
He set his pack down. It just goes boom.
Yeah, I set my pack down.
Starts
He's like,
gaining momentum.
Clay's like, it was a pretty hairy spot, and he's like, oh, I'll get it. I'm like, dude, let me just go put the stuff on that knob, and I'll come back and help you drag it.
Yeah.
So we didn't want to go down in this crap by the creek, and so I run the stuff up there. I got his bow, I got the camera, I got my pack. I set it all down, and then I go back and we drag her across that opening, and then I don't remember. I go to grab the camera because I'm always worried about breaking that thing, and I pick it up and I bump my pack, and then my pack just goes down into this freaking brushing trawl. I'm like, oh crap! And it rolled like 100 yards down the hill.
I
Yeah.
just tossed that in the bag there.
Man, I wish I had my laptop. We could watch the footage of my shot.
You got it on film?
The GoPro, yeah.
Oh,
You won't be able to see it too good, but
That's
I'll
awesome.
see it a little bit.
Yeah,
guys hungry?
heck yeah. The deer just looked.
They end up coming up through the brush right on top of me from the backside. Oh crap! This little fawn comes around and she starts doing this nervous bleat like 5 yards behind me, and I can't even do enough to see her, just see a little bit of movement. But then she go back to feeding. But that little nervous bleat brought this doe in from about 15 yards where she fed for a long time. And then all of a sudden she comes in, she's like 10 yards away broadside, but I've got this little fawn right there. It's just like, oh man, you know, I'm trying to control my breathing. I'm just trying to hide my face because there's nothing between me and this doe. I'm just sitting on a stump. And I'm just, you know, thinking about trying to slowly draw on this doe, but I haven't even moved yet. I'm just trying to stay as still as possible. And finally she saw enough and put it all together, and, you know, her eyes got big and she wheeled out of there. But the fawn didn't go. The fawn stayed right there, so I turned, started drawing back on this fawn, and she just kind of like does this weird little flinch thing, tucks down in the snow, and I'm like, oh man. And I let go, and it goes, tang! I dry fired my bow. Somehow my knot came off the string. And all that like tension back and forth, you know, while they're there, and having that big old fat glove on, I didn't feel that it was off, and I was just holding my knock and holding the string, but the knock wasn't on the string.
Never did that, I can tell you. Jeff's your best.
Yeah, we need to start an arrow tree. It'd be fun if it's...
Well, I was thinking that the one right here, the meat tree.
Yeah. If we have a camp, you know, that we year after year after year.
Well, I was just thinking on the way down here, I'm just gonna if you guys are coming back next year, I'm just gonna come down here a week before and just set up a wall tent and
Yeah, man.
hold the spot.
Shit, if we're invited, I'm back.
Yeah, we'll be here.
So it makes it worth the frozen feet, aching back and legs and everything else.
Yeah.
Let's see what am I doing.